we're going to get into the Tower of Battle because this is the reason why they in these energies in the first place. So check this out. The Tower of Battle was the first concept of the motherfucker watchtower. And by this allegory, by the allegory story of Jehovah coming to scatter the people from the concept of the motherfucker Tower of Babel, because I don't even think the tower even got destroyed and things of that nature. I just think the people got their language mixed up. And you know, the people in the Bible is talking about virtues and principles. So these is people's thoughts and feelings. And during that particular time, the language before it became the actual words, the people back in the day and things of that nature, before we became in these bodies, we was using our minds, and our minds was our word. You know what I'm saying? Your mind was your word before it vibrated out into actual vibrations and shit like that. Right? When we start to talk about the motherfucking Tower of Battle, I said battle, but that's where there was battle on that and shit like that, right? But the motherfucking Tower of fucking Babel in some way, shape, or form, the people, aka God's people, this was God's thoughts and feelings. And God came down, aka the Spirit came down and confused all their language, aka this is the original word. The word was created with a vibration. And then the external world was created with the word. So you got the vibration, the space you in, that started to develop a feeling. Then you could create a shape and form around that, a logical thought. Now, back in this, what Jewish mysticism was correlating to the word, how you logically interpret a feeling. So you could just be in a certain feeling, right? And then start to logically express it in some way, shape, or form, right? You ain't even got to say a word. When you start to mentally interpret and justify your feeling and emotion, right? This is the word. That's why they call it oral tradition. This is what Protestants and things of that nature don't understand. This is the concept of the beginnings of oral tradition in some way, shape, or form, right? Right? So keep that in motherfucking mind. So this puts you into a situation where, right, all of these things, as far as Babylon and shit like that, was based upon thoughts and feelings. And when your spirit come down and confuse them, you no longer agree with a certain thought. You no longer agree with a certain feeling. So think about this as a group of individuals in some way, shape, or form. This is them not being able to agree to anything. They got different ideas, different thoughts. It don't have anything to do with you looking at this shit as a history book and thinking that they're actually talking about language. And the only reason you probably think like that is because you're lost in. They had their own concept about what the fuck they thought they got going on because they was kings. They was in rulership. So they want their virtues and principles to run as long as the motherfucker back then as Rome, when men and women was living for 700 years and 800 years. AKA not a history book. A person's thought, Adam, man, and a person's woman, feeling, could be up under rulership for 700 years if their generation and their lineage keep that rulership going in some way, shape, or form. And some rulerships last for 700 years, some last for 900 years. And this is what we call as humanity stars. You have the external stars, and then you have your star, your personal stars, your visions and your feelings that you come up with and things of that nature. That's your star. And then certain stars live for 700 years. And back in the day, Jewish mysticism was calling this people, men and women. You ain't a people. What is a people? What is a man? What is a woman? They started calling you that. You don't go around calling no animal or no bug. Oh, is that a real man? Is that a real woman? Only thing the fuck you concerned with is the chromosomes. Is it a fucking male or is it a fucking female? The moment your ass is in a human body and start using your mind and you start saying, yeah, I want to be a real man, I want to be a real woman, that's a thought. That's something you striving to be. AKA, it's a perception. You're still a male, but you're trying to be a specific version of a male. Specific version come from a thought. You can't come up with a conclusion or a concept of what I just said, specific version, without coming up with an idea about something. So that's a thought. That's a man. You know what I'm saying? Then when you say a woman, that's a feeling. That's an emotion. That's a thought you can't see. That have the thought bended in on itself, died, and now you can only receive it. And it could turn into a organ, or it could turn into something that you're reacting and responding to observe yourself within this realm of reality. That's a motherfucking woman in some way. So when a woman says she's trying to be a real woman, she's trying to be real supportive. She's trying to be real receiving. She's trying to endure. She's trying to conceive, even when it comes down to the physical representation of your fucking children. But also it could come down to the aspect of, esoterically speaking, the moon. You know what I'm saying? So it's all correlated to these energies where these are things you're striving to be, but you ain't these things. These are these things that you have developed as far as your mind, your mentality, to piggyback as you was following another spirit that was lost here, and then you then came out into this realm of reality trying to find your own motherfucking way. And you gravitated towards one energy more than the other. More man or more woman. More masculine or more feminine. But so it correlated into you coming down here as a male or female in the physical form, but you as a spirit is androgynous. You see what I'm saying?